So before we dive into this awesome video, it was sponsored by Eniba.com, which is a marketplace where you can purchase game keys for an extremely low price. Now, Eniba.com has been live for about a month or so, but has a ton of users that are extremely happy. Now, of course, you can get things like games, gift cards for your Xbox games and PlayStation, etc. And what's really cool is on the weekends, Eniba.com has sales where you can find top games at a really low price. Now, all you gotta do is register using my link in the description below in order to get yourself a €1 bonus, and even better, if you use my code SuperRebel, you will get yourself a 3% discount. So hey, if you want to save your pennies but get some amazing games at the same time, then what are you waiting for? Check out Eniba.com, the link is in the description below. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in the last video, of course, I asked you guys to share your ideas in the comment section below on things that you really want to see in this Batman Arkham 2019 game, which a lot of people are now speculating a release date for around October, and of course we are still waiting for that, well, more or less confirmed May announcement, as of course we've had a bunch of teasers. But before I dive into the awesome video, I want to ask you guys if you have any really cool shots that you were able to grab in Batman Arkham's photo mode in Arkham Knight, to go ahead and share them with me on Twitter. And the ones that I think are really cool, I'm going to start featuring in these videos. So if you got a cool picture, send it to me on Twitter. The link is in the description below. But starting into this amazing video, we have a ton of cool ideas. Now, the first one does come from an awesome guy who goes by the name Cole McIntosh, and he has a must list. So I'm just going to quickly read these out. Of course, we have Gotham City, lots of tall skyscrapers, civilians, limited Batmobile combat, long story, good villains, gotta have some Joker, of course, and a detailed free roam Batcave. Now, of course, this was the one that got the most thumbs up on the last video, but I also have two really cool ones after this to share with you guys. But a lot of people were really for this list. Now, I gotta say, it is a really cool list. I've always said that civilians have to be in there, right? Civilians really just make the world, and I guess the gameplay, more interesting in my personal opinion. If you want to compare it to Spider-Man PS4, for example, having civilian reactions when you get into combat is really a ton of fun. I mean, in the sense of like a ton of fun, I mean really bringing the world to life, and having those reactions is what makes it fun, right? A lot of people were also against the whole idea of Batmobile combat. A lot of people really want this to be limited. I'm not gonna lie, for me, it doesn't really bother me too much. There are loads of ways in which, however, you can make a Batmobile combat way more interesting, and I guess challenging to some extent. That's a personal opinion though, but if it was to be one, yeah, I would definitely say limit the Batmobile combat. But I think it is one of those great areas that have a lot of room for potential, but just haven't exactly been executed the right way. But that is my verdict on Cole's ideas, and definitely, of course, like I said in the last video, a detailed free roam Batcave is what's going to be key. Now, also, the thing that a lot of people were triggered about, of course, was that day and night cycle, and we are going to get into that in a second because one of you guys did come up with a really cool idea. But I wanted to dive into this next one that comes from a guy called Co-op Gaming, and I'm assuming he just loves co-op because he says, I want a new Batman game to play co-op with friends, one player as Batman and one player as Robin. Now, of course, I believe they tried to do this before and then they discontinued it. I'm not exactly 100% sure on the full story behind that. A lot of people are still saying it's active, but again, that's going back to like your Xbox 360. But it wouldn't be the first time that they would go ahead ahead and attempt this, and seeing how games are now, and especially again if you want to look at Spider-Man PS4, I'm always going to keep comparing this because of course that's another superhero game that has been on this generation of consoles within the last year. Of course, a lot of people were saying, hey, you know, even though this game doesn't have multiplayer or co-op, it is a ton of fun, but if it did have multiplayer or co-op, it would be so much cooler. And I've seen loads of videos where people have done co-op like style videos on a Spider-Man game, and it looks really fun. But if that was an actual option in a Batman game, especially to have Batman and Robin, that would be a ton of fun. And hopefully, going off their previous experience, now they will know how to execute it properly. And if that is the case, I think it will be massive. 100%. It will definitely be a hit. I mean, as it stands, it's probably going to be massive, but with this feature, it's going to be humongous. But don't get me wrong, sometimes a co-op mode and a multiplayer mode doesn't necessarily make the game a lot cooler. Sometimes as a single player game, it could just be amazing. Now, going on to the last idea, which is by a dude who goes by the name of Brian West. And of course, in the last video I was talking about people being triggered by the whole day and night cycle thing, and you know, a lot of people also speculating on having multiple characters in the game. Well, Brian pretty much hit the nail on the head, I guess. So he says the day cycle could be Bruce and night could be all of Batman, and I think this really ticks both boxes, right? People who were triggered about a day and night cycle, now there is a reason for one, and at the same time there's going to be multiple characters that allow you to really see a different side, I guess, of the character, and that personally is a lot more interesting, and I think multiple characters would be very cool. But again, you guys get in the comment section below, what do you think about a day cycle as Bruce and a night cycle of being Batman, or just simply the ability to switch into the suit whenever you want? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you have any more ideas on things that you would like to see in this game that you feel not a lot of people have suggested or thought of, then let me know in the comment section below, and you may just make it into the next video. But guys, that is gonna wrap up this one here, so if you missed the last one, go ahead and check it out, subscribe for more awesome content, and until the next one, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.